You can never go wrong with a good rice dish, and today I have got three of Ghana's best: jollof, fried rice, and waakye. Which one are you picking first? Let's get into it. Okay, so as usual, we'll begin by steaming our goat meat. And here, my goat meat is thoroughly washed and chopped to my preferred sizes. I added in a blended mix of onion, garlic, ginger, a little bit of water here, and then some salt to taste, as well as some beef seasoning. Now we will give it a good mix to combine, and here is a pro tip: have some warm water ready, as the goat meat takes quite a while to tenderize and the warm water will help it along the way. Just add enough water to the pot until the goat meat is tender and nice. Additionally, you can use any seasonings of choice for your preferred taste, so we'll cook this on medium heat until the goat meat is ready. And here we are. I barely have any moisture left. That would have been great to add to the stew for the jollof, but as you can see in the background also, I have my oil heating up to fry the goat meat here shortly. I cannot wait to see how it turns out. So carefully, I will add the goat meat to the heated oil and will fry until it's darkened but not burned. This step brings out an incredible depth of flavor, but feel free to skip it if you're watching your oil intake. The goat meat is now perfectly cooked, so it's time to carefully remove it from the oil. Place it in something that will help drain any excess oil, and once done, set the meat aside for now and we will move on to the next step. So here in the blender, I have some chopped tomatoes. To that, I will add some chopped red bell peppers and we'll blend them until they're completely smooth. Next, I'll cook my blended mix separately before starting the stew. This step is totally optional, but it saves time and helps prevent the stew from splashing everywhere, which often happens if you add them directly to the stew. Now let's start making the stew. Into the heated oil, I added a blended mix of onions, garlic, and peppers. Give it a good stir and we'll let it fry on medium heat for a few minutes here to allow the flavors to meld beautifully. After frying the onion, garlic, and pepper mix for a few minutes here, it's time to add our tomato paste. So we'll then give it a good mix to combine with the fried blend. Let it cook on medium heat, remembering to stir occasionally. So this will also help reduce the raw taste and deepen the flavor. This step is key to building a rich, flavorful base for our jollof rice. And once the tomato paste is nicely fried, it's time to add the cooked tomato and red bell pepper mix. Pour it in, stir everything together until it's well combined. Now I also added in some curry powder for an extra layer of aroma and richness, and let it cook for a few more minutes, remembering to stir occasionally. Okay, so now back to check on the stew. It's coming along beautifully. So this is the perfect time to also add in your seasonings. I'm adding some jollof seasoning here, beef seasoning, and some salt to taste. We'll give it a good mix to combine and let it cook for a few more minutes until the stew darkens and develops that rich color we want for our jollof rice. Once the stew is ready, it's time to add your rice. I'm using jasmine rice, but you can use any type you prefer. And just make sure that the rice is not more than the stew, as that could make your jollof rice blend. And now add a bit of water, but not too much if you want the perfect texture. Just adjust based on your preference. So I'll be using a foil to cover the pot to trap the heat, which will help the rice cook without needing too much water. If you don't have foil, you can use a parchment paper or a clean napkin. Also taste and adjust your seasonings as needed. So we'll cook it for a few minutes, then we'll check back later. Back to check on the rice, and it's been about 15 minutes. I'm going to give it a gentle stir to ensure it's cooking evenly, and if you notice the rice needs more moisture, you can sprinkle in a bit of hot water mixed with salt, but do it gradually to avoid overdoing it. Once done, reduce the heat to low and let the rice continue cooking for another 15 to 20 minutes until it's perfectly done. This step is optional, but I'm going to stir fry some veggies to add to the jollof rice once it's ready. I'll cook them just until they are slightly soft but still have a nice crunch for that perfect texture. The jollof rice is now at the perfect texture, so I'll go ahead and add the stir-fried vegetables and the goat meat. So we'll gently combine everything to mix well, then cover the pot to let all the flavors melt together beautifully. Just for a few more minutes here, and it should be ready to serve. And friends, that's how I make my goat meat jollof rice. It's pretty easy and straight to the point. I hope if you enjoyed watching it and found the video helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions, and remember to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Thank you, and until next time, stay safe and blessed always. Okay, so we'll begin by cooking our rice first. I've been told that using a day-old rice is better, but I didn't have any. So we'll cook our rice with the appropriate amount of water until it's done. And remember, you don't want it too soft, so once it's cooked, allow it to cool completely. Cold rice is the secret to perfect fried rice, as it holds the shape and texture better during the frying process. Next here I have my washed vegetables. I will prep them and set them aside, and we'll also make sure to cut them in bit sizes. And for my protein of choice, I'm using beef and chicken. So in my large pan, I will pour in about a tablespoon of vegetable oil. I then added the marinated beef to the hot pan, and to marinate my beef, I used some ginger garlic paste along with some beef seasoning and salt to taste. And now I'll stir fry the beef for about 5 to 7 minutes until it's brown and cooked through. Once cooked, I'll remove the beef from the pan, then set it aside. In the same pan, I'll add another tablespoon of vegetable oil, then add the marinated chicken to the hot pan, and I marinated the chicken with some ginger garlic paste, chicken seasoning, and salt to taste as well. Once cooked through, I'll remove the chicken from the pan and set it aside with the beef. Next, in the same pan again, I'll add another tablespoon of vegetable oil, then add my chopped onion. I will stir fry until fragrant, then follow up with my chopped carrots. And we will stir fry the carrots first because they take a longer time to cook than the other vegetables. So we'll cook them first to ensure they become tender and maintain a good texture. Next, follow up with my green bell peppers, and we'll stir fry them for about 1 to 2 minutes here. I will also add some chicken seasoning to enhance the flavor of the fried rice here. It's totally optional though. Next, we'll now add the rice to the stir-fried vegetables. And if it's your first time coming across my channel, welcome. If you like what you're seeing so far, do me a solid and smash on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'd truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll also add in some green peas, and I love them in my fried rice. So we'll stir everything together, ensuring the rice is mixed well with the vegetables. And thank you to all my returning subscribers. I do appreciate the constant support. You guys are truly amazing. So I went in with some soy sauce, and it has high sodium content, so be careful adding any additional salt. So at this point, you can add any seasonings if you prefer, then stir well to combine. And now we'll combine everything together. So I'll go in with my scrambled eggs and then my beef and chicken. So guys, in Ghana, this is one of my favorite street foods, waakye being the first, of course. So anytime I crave it, I make my own at home. It's nothing compared to the street food, but it is as close as it gets. Okay, then so stir everything together until it's well combined and heated through. And friends, this is how I make my Ghanaian fried rice. Super easy, flavorful, and quick to make. I hope you try this recipe and let me know how you did. Thank you for cooking with me, and I hope you enjoyed and found the video helpful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any questions, and please smash on that subscribe button if you haven't done so yet. And until next time, stay safe and blessed always. Okay, so for step 1, we'll begin with the star of the dish, black-eyed beans. I'm using 1.5 cups for this recipe. So carefully, we will sort through the beans to remove any bad ones or debris. We're aiming for only the best to make our waakye perfect, at no pressure. And once that's done, we'll rinse the beans thoroughly to clean them up. I'll allow them soak for a few hours here. This will soften the beans and also cut down the cooking time. It's the small efforts that make a huge difference, so don't skip it. You also need some sorghum leaves. This is the secret to giving waakye its signature rich, beautiful color. So I'll give them a quick rinse to ensure they're clean and ready to be added to the beans here. Now add a substantial amount of water to the pot and a little bit of baking soda here to enhance the color. Now we'll cook everything until the beans is softened but not too soft. Back to check on the beans. It's been about 35 minutes and has cooked to the perfect consistency. It's soft but not mushy. Now is the time to also remove the sorghum leaves. They have done their job beautifully, infusing the beans with that rich signature color. Now adding the baking soda is optional, but it really helps bring out that deep vibrant color in the waakye, as I said. But if you prefer a more natural approach, or if you don't have the baking soda on hand, you can skip it. The dish will still be delicious. You can also skip this step and cook your rice along with the sorghum leaves if you choose to skip adding the baking soda. However, keep in mind that it's a bit more work to dig out the leaves once everything is cooked and ready to serve. But it's all about preference, so do what works best for you. Next, I have about 3 cups of jasmine rice ready to go. You can use any rice of choice depending on your preference, whether it's jasmine, basmati, or any type of long grain rice. They all work perfectly for waakye. Just choose what you love. Okay, so next we'll add the rice to the cooked beans along with salt to taste and a spoonful of coconut oil. Coconut oil is optional, but adding it enhances the flavor and also fills your kitchen with a delicious and an inviting aroma. You will then mix well to combine, then cover the pot with foil to lock in the steam and let it cook gently. The goal is to achieve that perfect consistency. Soft, fluffy, and just perfect. Back to check on the waakye after about 15 to 20 minutes. This is the perfect consistency I'm looking for. Fluffy, fragrant, and perfectly cooked. If yours still looks a bit patchy or undercooked, don't worry, just sprinkle some salted hot water over it. Cover and let it cook for a few more minutes. And friends, this is how I make my waakye at home. Pretty simple and straightforward with just a few basic ingredients. You can find sorghum leaves at your local African market if you'd like to give this recipe a try. While this homemade version might not fully capture the exact vibe of Ghana's street, it's close enough to give you a taste of that authentic experience right in your kitchen. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, stay safe and blessed always.